Hello and welcome back to the Basements for Stars. Happy holidays. I'm your host Vahak Paul Janbazian, and it's been a few weeks since the intro episode. Still figuring out the whole scheduling thing with all of this, but I'm finally back with two great guests. They are Vram and Tarra Thiessen Kherlopian of the bands Tea Eater, MamajoeVramajoe, Sharkmuffin, The Big Drops, and they are 40% of Brooklyn art punk post-punk extravaganza, Gustaf. But they're 100% awesome, and I'm honored to have them as my first guests. We get into their musical upbringings, influential bands, classic Brooklyn and New Jersey venues, and a whole lot more. Here's my conversation with Vram and Tarra.
Hey, thanks for coming on, and you are officially the first guest.
Oh my God, first guest?
Yes, now that I think of it, I wouldn't want it any other way. So, no, I feel honored that you guys are on. And the name of the show is The Basements Were Stars. And that's like a play on a Sunny Day Real Estate song called The Blankets Were Stairs. But it's irrelevant to the title. I just wanted to use the title to think of a name. And the reason I thought of that name was because, you know, I guess if you grew up in the suburbs or whatever, the basement was ground zero for creating music. You know, maybe it was garages for other people.
It was exactly.
It was the basement.
Yeah, it was both those things.
Yeah.
I think my first like band I was 10 years old, and it was called Harkonnen, and it was just like thrashy, like hardcore music.
Oh, cool.
And we rehearsed in a garage, and other than that, I would just like play music in our basement. Those are the two options.
I got guitar lessons for 6 years in my parents' basement.
Nice.
And they had a pool table down there. And my stepdad is a very classic boomer stepdad who collects bass guitars. So I was very lucky with that. And then there was like this Jimi Hendrix autograph on the wall in the basement that he was super proud of. And to this day, anybody who comes over, that's what he
First thing.
Come to the basement. Here's my Jimi Hendrix autograph.
Yeah, it's really sweet. You get like a little like, you know, a basement tour of like 10 different bass guitars.
I mean, there's worse things to collect, right?
And I feel like the first time when I went over, he's like, "You like playing bass?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Take this one," and he gave me like a fretless electric bass. I was like, "Really?" Like, thank you. You know,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's you know, when someone offers you an instrument, you just accept it. You know.
No, and especially if they're sincere about it.
Exactly. You know, like
I think you were the first guy that I brought over that he gave a bass guitar.
Wow.
I'm not lying.
And now we're married. You know?
That
was it.
That's huge.
Different girlfriends of mine bass guitars, like Natalie from Sharkmuffin, my old band. He gave her a bass guitar, and I think, a couple other people I played guitar with. But yes, you were the first.
Wow.
You knew.
Yeah.
Very generous father. It's cool.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah, I've had those moments too where it's like someone really feels compelled to give me some kind of musical instrument or item, and it's always cool because they thought of you. I have certain things like that I still use to this day that it just ends up becoming part of your sonic makeup eventually.
Yeah, 100%. Because it's just like a lot of the sound tools generally accomplish like similar or almost identical things. Right. And, you know, you can, once you kind of learn how, even like a pedal with like 3 parameters, it can be like near infinite feeling almost. You know, like with the amount of expression you can get out of it a lot of the time. So yeah, like once you have the same gear for 10 plus years, you know, you kind of become some weird like mini guru in your own like style, you know?
Yeah. I had the same like pedal board for almost 10 years. I'm a big Death by Audio person because I would hang out at Death by Audio when it was in Williamsburg when it was a DIY venue.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, who I played in a band with, and yes, I've had the same Interstellar Overdrive pedal and Echo Dream pedal, which I probably should get a new one. There's an Echo Dream 2 now.
Oh.
And then I have a Fuzz War. And I feel like that's been like my main sound with Sharkmuffin and my new band Tea Eater. And I did just get an Echo Master, which I'm really excited about, which is also a Death by Audio pedal.
It's a vocal pedal? Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and Echo Dream that Tara was talking about, the first one, they made a second one, but the first one is just, there's no volume knob on it. So it goes from like, you know, if you turn it on, it makes your amp like, not even joking, like 4 times louder, like as the minimum. So it's just like, it's on or off.
There's off, there's midway, and there's
but they're all just super loud. Yeah. We were hanging out with Oliver, the founder of Death by Audio.
Yeah, he's in a place to raise strangers.
And they made they made a Echo Dream 2 already, which has the volume knob. But I remember I was like, dude, I've been using the Echo Dream and it's insanely loud. There's no volume. He's like, I know, man. I'm sorry about that. You know? Yeah, it's so great.
Sorry.
Yeah. We're like, dude, it sounds sick. Like, make amazing.
You're like,
pedals.
no, there's no problem here.
Yeah. But because I was just seriously just amazed at how you can make an amp, like you put your amp at 10, like a crappy small little solid state amp, you can put the volume at 10 and then you turn this pedal on and the amp becomes like insanely louder. And it's like, I don't even understand how this 9-volt pedal, the circuitry in there is even possible to make this amp like incredibly louder. Like it's just
with these pedals,
amazing.
I always like to use a Fender amp, and then I've always had to have the main volume on like 1.5. And then still the sound guy is like turn it down. And I'm like, and I have to they're so sensitive that I have to like nudge it so slightly, because then if it goes to 1, then it's like too quiet.
Then it's too much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the most like delicate thing. It's crazy. Yeah, but I love them just by audio.
Yeah, I think I remember them in Williamsburg. Yeah, I never visited them, but I remember seeing them.
Yeah.
You mentioned high school, so let's start there with both of you.
Great.
And then we can just meet up at some point.
I'll start in high school.
Yeah, you want to start? You start.
I was just there today. It's crazy because I'm dealing with some, grandma stuff taking care of her. But from Homedale, New Jersey, where PNC Bank Art Center is.
Represent,
Nice big amphitheater.
Yes.
And I started playing guitar in 2001, September 2001, pre-high school. After I was inspired by the White Stripes on the VMAs. That performance like them, and then they have all these people run out, and
everything flying around.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I could do. And then my stepdad is a bass collector, and actually I wanted to play flute in elementary school, but my mom was like, school band is too early for you to wake up, which fair. And then she was also like, I want you to be cool and play guitar. When you get to high school, you're going to be cool and play guitar. So I feel I got very lucky.
Yeah, parents looking out for you.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they really were. Because I was kind of a weirdo, so they saw that pretty young, and it was a good outlet. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, and then I got guitar lessons in high school, and I worked at PNC my junior and senior year of high school, so I got to see a lot of cool bands for free.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a good value. Eric Clapton, Megadeth. I remember Megadeth was one of the first shows I worked.
That's funny.
Yeah, Ozfest was always there, so
that's right. They were always there. Yeah, I never went, but I remember it happening there.
Yeah, I saw the Doors, but without
Jim.
So I'm like, doesn't even count. But.
Was it Ian from the Cult singing, or someone else?
I don't remember.
I think they've had a few different people.
Yeah, but my first concert was Ringo Starr and Alice Cooper. My parents liked to go see Alice Cooper and Stevie Nicks.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So I take it a lot of classic rock in the house.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's why. Like, I have a record collection. I have a pretty good record collection. I DJ vinyl mainly because of my stepdad, because I found all his records in the garage, and then I went and I bought like one of those like $100 Crowley players at like Marshall's.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I just stole his records.
Nice.
Thanks.
That's perfect.
Thanks, Greg. Yeah, but I still have some. Right?
Yeah.
I know your house was a lot of classic rock too. Right?
Oh yeah.
I know your dad's history a bit with.
Yeah. He was like a huge Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah.
A fan. Yeah, and he played in like back
Cover
Lebanon.
bands.
And then when he moved to the States, he was when he was 23, he moved to the States from Lebanon, and he was playing in like different wedding bands and like cover bands. There was some original music too. Caravan was the band.
That's sick. It's like a 70s prog rock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's too good. So it was a lot of like my middle brother played drums and I played guitar. My first instrument was trombone. My grandfather on my mother's side, Raymond Deal, he was a trombone player for a living. So that was my first instrument when I was, I think, 7. And that was played it for like a year. But now no more instruments that require blowing. It's just too much. You know, like
It is a lot of physical commitment.
it's a lot.
Yeah,
you know, it's. I guess the rules I've recently discovered about myself, instrument wise, is like no blowing, no bowing. You know, I can't use a bow, and any kind of breath work, it's just not going to happen.
Fair enough.
Yeah, for me, I just picked up ocarina.
Yeah, yeah.
Here.
Uh-huh.
I'm very excited about my ocarina. I'm learning all the Zelda songs, even though I've never played Zelda. But
But you got to get,
I like,
you know,
I like the
they're hits.
Sure. Yeah. That's a great instrument. I mean,
yeah.
wasn't it in that Duran Duran song, The Chauffeur, at the end? I'm trying
Oh,
to
really?
Yeah. I think that, or he's playing some kind of I have to go back and look, but yeah, cool instrument nonetheless. I know in Vrami's household, there's a lot of Stones and Beatles.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was you know, growing up in Jersey, I feel like it was when I was like 9 or 10, I started to get more into like hardcore music.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when I was, you know, maybe 13 to 17, got into more of the guitar god kind of Joe Satriani, Steve Vai kind of stuff. And then when I became a young adult in my 20s, was like, actually the Beatles were like the best ever. And that was super helpful for just like, you know, and I of course knew about the Beatles and liked them before, but I feel like I really appreciated them for just like from a songwriting perspective. Because as like a teenager, I was like, I just want to go really fast and play like really shreddy,
loud and shreddy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was like, actually, you don't need to do that.
My stepdad was a big Beatles fan too. But I like rebelled for a minute. And I was, you know, it's Jersey, so I was into emo and ska. And then I came back.
I mean, the emo screamo stuff is inevitable when you
of course.
grow up in New Jersey. You know,
Jersey,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like the VFW shows.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, totally. Yeah, or shows at the Chrome or wherever,
Dude.
Chill. Yeah, totally.
Club Chrome. Yeah, I saw this local band, the Bank Robbers, there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember the Bank Robbers. Yeah.
You do?
I do.
Oh my
I remember
God.
seeing their name on bills, but I've never seen them. Yeah.
Yeah. Just random dudes. Wonder what they're doing now.
No idea.
They're doing what they said they were doing.
Yeah.
Robin.
And we were
Robin
pretty close to Asbury Park. So yeah, I'll go to the Saint a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, my first show was at the Stone Pony, mainly because of my guitar teacher. We had I played Sunshine of Your Love in like 2004.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You gotta do it.
I messed up the solo, but I really tried.
It's okay.
I mean,
As long as you finish the solo.
I think I did.
You know?
yeah, as long as you got through it. So from there, what were the bands that you two played in?
Yeah, the Big Drops was, I feel like, me and my brother Greg, it was like our first attempt. Like, we're gonna like be a band, you know, and like record great music and play shows. And we made like one album and like a couple EPs. Yeah, so that was like the main, like throughout my 20s. I feel like it was like 7-8 years. We did some tours and did a couple like wedding gigs and would do like the 3-hour bar gigs and play, you know, some covers because we're like, we need $500, please, someone give us $500. And then Tarra and I started playing in bands. Our first band together, I think we played in Gustaf was the first one. And then and now in Tea Eater, we have our other
you have your other project.
like MamajoeVramajoe, and I do some. So I've been like learning piano the last 7-ish years. I feel like once I turned 30, I was interested in piano and chess.
Yeah. I always thought you always played piano for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I like have always known about it as an instrument, you know, and I do remember learning or you know, attempting to learn very poorly and like to the dismay of my brothers, would play it over and over that Mozart piece that dun 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 dun, and I would. Yeah, I try. I feel like from the ages of like my teenage years, I would like try and learn that like every 3 months, and it would be awful. You know, like for anyone listening, they would just have to hear this dude who had no piano skills at all try and like smash through a Mozart piece so poorly. You know, like, and I feel like that was like it was like chopsticks basically. You know, and I tried to do that. But yeah, but Greg was the piano / synth player whenever we would record stuff in Big Drop. So I never like really tried playing piano. But once I turned 30, I was like, oh, the finer things in life. Piano.
Yeah, and you do the synth stuff from Gustaf.
Yeah, I record synth for Gustaf, and
That's you.
Okay, that's you. Okay, cool.
yeah, and for anyone who else who wants, yeah, I think so. And I feel like there's like a thing that I've learned with rock bands is that, you know, you record, you play your live shows, you practice, you get, you know, your guitar, bass, drums, vocals, percussion, whatever else. Everyone knows their parts, and then you record it and you track it, and you're like, great, now it's time to add synth because like we have to for some reason.
Yeah.
And you know, and then there's
the secret sauce sometimes.
It's the secret sauce, yeah.
Yeah.
There's always like a very low volume drone, just like just for texture, you know, like any producer you work with is like, yeah, we just need to add like a low synth just for texture to beef it out. And it's like, all right, great, you know, like no problem.
Right.
So that's the secret of rock music is very low volume synthesizers.
I mean, I'm down with it. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. My first band was called Toxic Tea Time.
Nice.
It was a duo where I played acoustic guitar and my friend Zainab Shushmazel, who I've been trying to get in touch with again lately. I know she lives in Brooklyn somewhere. She sang because I was convinced I couldn't sing for whatever weird reason. And so we wrote some songs together and played at like random church and like My Sweet 16. I think those were our gigs.
The two big shows. Yeah.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah, huge. And then
nerve-wracking.
So nerve-wracking. Yeah, and then I was like in a random like emo-ish band called Strangers and Yet.
Wow.
Strangers and Yet. And then I worked at the Internet Cafe in Red Bank, New Jersey for their open mics. It's now an Urban Outfitters, but that was a cute little place for a minute. And then I went to NYU and I was in a band called Trees with Blue Leaves.
Okay.
Whoa.
And then, oh my God, what was it called? Basic Cable.
That's actually a good name.
That's a good band name.
That's a really good name.
A good band name. Yeah, we knew it. It was, of course, a guy I was dating, so it did not work out. But I met Lydia from Gustaf in college, and we didn't start Gustaf until 10 years later because we met in like 2008. But she played in a band called Daydress. That was very cool. And they played all like the DIY spots around Bushwick and Brooklyn. And I graduated in 2012 and I started a band called Sharkmuffin, which was the first. Well, actually, I had a band in college called Slutmuffin and then a band called Pool Sharks. And which the Slutmuffin had a different singer named Sophie LaBelle. She's an actress. She lives in LA, I think now. Or maybe she's in New York trying to become a lawyer. You know, Slutmuffin to lawyer. That's how it goes these days. And then I wrote the songs, a lot of the songs for both projects. Then I pushed them together and made Sharkmuffin. Yeah, then I did Sharkmuffin for about 10 years.
Yeah, you did that for a while. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and that was really fun. We got to do a lot of cool stuff. The drummer from Hole, Patty Shamel, was on our first record.
She's amazing.
So cool.
One of my favorite drummers.
Yeah. Oh my God, she's the best. And yes, that happened by happenstance because our drummer unfortunately got injured and we already had some sessions booked in LA. And just randomly the engineer put something out on Facebook. And then, just somebody knew Patty. And it worked out. And then, COVID happened. Everything got rearranged. And then T-Eater was born. And MamajoeVramajoe was born. And then Gustaf's the only through line before COVID, pre-C and post-C, band life-wise.
Before we jump into Gustaf, I wanted to sort of talk about, I always felt like, especially with big drops, there was always an element of the absurd and subversive in your songwriting. It reminded me of Dr. Dog, Moldy Peaches, Pavement.
Yeah, no, thank you.
A lot of that sort of stuff, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, no, thanks. Yeah, I mean, I feel like once Greg and I started to make music, we would try and make some serious music, but then we'd be like, but what if we just did whatever we wanted? And then it just became far less serious, because I feel like a lot of our musical upbringing was, I don't think serious is the right word, but, people who would write songs about things that were important or, about love.
Introspective or whatever.
Yeah. Or about nature or some,
it's a very wonderful band.
Yeah, whimsical. Yeah. We were just, like silliness and that was just like a fun. I don't know. I just always appreciated that about different performers who would be able to just, not take themselves super seriously. I've always felt not genuine being super. It's
like super sincere.
I feel like being whimsical or kind of like joking, tongue in cheek is just like how I am. Like how I
like normally.
Exactly. So it's like, why am I trying to do something that feels unnatural because that's what I've learned or something,
Tell me about what bands you were into when you guys were starting bands, or obviously we discussed classic rock type stuff, but when it started becoming like your own thing.
I was really into the Distillers. Do you remember the Distillers? Barry Dale. Yeah. I had a poster of her on my wall. She had like kind of like a mohawk and didn't have a shirt on. She was just like this. My mother hated it. Great. So I love the Distillers. I love her scream. And the Blood Brothers aren't like punk, but they're, I guess, more. Do you remember the Blood Brothers?
I saw them with Celebration at Irving Plaza. I think that's the time I saw them.
Yeah, no, I never got to see either of those bands. But yeah, those were some bands I was really into in high school, like the cooler ones. I was also into Good Charlotte. I loved Good Charlotte.
I mean, that's high school.
I saw Blink-182 and No Doubt at PNC in like 2004. And that was cool.
That's a very PNC concert.
Yeah. That's classic.
Yeah. No, I feel like if we're going to see something at PNC, it has to be that, like, whatever was on terrestrial rock radio at the time, Green Day, whatever. Yeah, totally.
How about you?
I mean, the first band that I feel like jumps out is this band called Folly. They're from New Jersey.
They have a Hot Topic t-shirt?
They probably had, I don't know if they were like big enough to be in Hot Topic, But yeah, I remember my first band, Harkonnen, when we were like 10 years old. The singer in that band, my friend Sam Cortez, wherever he may be in this world, he was like super into Folly. He's like, we got to make music like Folly, And so us as like, 10-year-olds tried to replicate that. It came out however we did it. But I remember at that time I was also starting to get like super into System of a Down and also Blink-182 I was like really into. And that also was starting my appreciation of Metallica. And I think that was my gateway drug to guitar shredding. I was like, this is so cool. They can go so fast, I feel like I didn't have wasn't like super into punk bands as a kid, other than I really feel like Blink-182 was like the one punk band that I was really into. And I remember looking up guitar tabs for Blink-182. It was like the first time I'd ever done that. I was probably like 8 or 9 years old. And I saw a bar chord for all the guitarists out there, a bar chord. And I remember thinking like, this is impossible to play. There's 6 notes being pressed down. I only have 4 fingers. Like, it's literally impossible. Tom DeLonge must be the greatest guitar player.
What's the physics behind this, right?
Yeah. Like this guy must be the best guitarist who ever lived if he can do this. Like, how is this possible? But yeah, I feel like a lot of the punk music that I've listened to was just like local bands, like live shows, with like 20 or 30 people in attendance. Just like a bunch of random bands that I don't even know if I ever were recorded or anything like that.
Remember Revenge Sevenfold?
Yeah, I do remember Revenge Sevenfold.
I was thinking, I like looked at my phone because I was like, that country, that record or whatever. I remember. Yeah, I remember just liking I liked like the Guitar Minis. It's not punk, but I just
no, but that was like all over the place at the time.
Yeah, I was all over the place. Yeah. I was into ska. I had a heavy ska phase. So, Streetlight Manifesto, Catch 22. Do you remember them? They were Jersey bands.
I know Streetlight Manifesto.
Yeah. I think I was just talking about it today at lunch because they felt like more like white rap with horns because they talked so fast. And
they did have kind of a bit of that. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I went to Warped Tour. Did you go to Warped Tour?
I went to one Warped Tour, and I remember seeing the RX Bandits.
They were cool.
Yeah, RX Bandits, I was like, "This is awesome." And I also remember, I think it was like Puddle of Mud, and it was really bad.
Puddle of Mud played Warped Tour.
I maybe it was different, but I have this like specific memory of seeing Puddle of Mud, or maybe it was POD. I'm pretty sure it was Puddle of Mud for some reason. I'm misremembering like things.
The last one I went to was like 97, 98. So
I was really into No
idea.
Effect. First No Effects, first like
No
War on
Effects,
Air.
yeah.
Oh, and Pennywise. I remember. That's it.
Pennywise, yeah.
That's a lot of Warped Tour.
Yeah.
That's funny you said System of a Down. I mean, like, I should have guessed that you listen to them or still listen to them. Being,
it's our Armenian culture.
Exactly.
You had to. But I really liked it. It was like one of the first, I remember like the posters on my wall as a kid. It was, as like a 12-year-old, it was like System of a Down, Metallica, and Led Zeppelin. Even though I didn't really listen to Led Zeppelin, I just really liked the poster. I thought it was super cool. Mm-hmm. Like the Stairway to Heaven one with like the lantern.
Totally. Yeah.
And there was also
that's based on the Hermit Tarot.
Nice.
Yeah. You had that one too?
I have the shirt with the guy. With
nice.
Yeah. But I feel like that sort of makes sense because Led Zeppelin, of course, and System, like, I think it did inform your songwriting and your approach quite a bit because there is a bit of macabre and drama and absurdity to your songwriting and performance, which both those bands, I think people don't realize Led Zeppelin did have a bit of that. I mean, a lot of it was like fantasy novels.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of like Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yeah. He owned an occult bookshop.
Yeah, definitely seeped into the brain. Like even like I kind of remember like the first time I heard Battle for Evermore, that Zeppelin song with just like the mandolin, and just like I just remember like just not knowing what to think about it because I was like, I thought this was rock, but this is like so cool and weird. Like I didn't know you were allowed to do this, like where you could kind of be like weird, ethereal, like fairy like music almost. That was really cool hearing that. It's just awesome. Like, and I think a lot of the what like draws me to different music is there's like a kind of like larger than life quality where it's almost as if I don't know, it's just like something has been really created from nothing. Like it's like if there was no Led Zeppelin, there would be no Led Zeppelin songs. And I know it's kind of redundant to say that, but it is really awesome when you think about it. A band of like a few people made something super epic that's gonna be listened to until the end of era of recorded music.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, Nirvana. I feel like I'm totally looking at the obvious band. Nirvana. Yeah, Hole, Bikini Kill, like the Riot Girl, and Sex Pistols. Just had a Sex Pistols CD because he had to.
Yeah,
has the word sex in it. That's awesome.
I mean, did you get into PIL too through Sex Pistols?
No, I don't know who that is.
Johnny Lydon's post-punk band.
Oh no.
Okay, yeah,
check it out.
Yeah, you got to check it out. It's cool. Yeah. I mean, he's not so cool these days, but he was involved in some cool stuff. That's interesting because I feel like that is the through line through what you guys are doing now. Bikini Kill, Led Zeppelin, off the bat. 2 reference points that make parts of the composite of what the two of you are involved in now, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Totally. Riffs and screaming ladies.
Yeah. I mean, it's the best marriage of sound. Honestly. I know Gustaf was sort of yours and Lydia's like brainchild initially, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was always in a lot of bands, and especially in like 2016 till COVID era. Like I was in a band called Ex-Girlfriends. I played guitar in a band called Kino Camino. Played bass in a band called Jesuit. And Lydia was playing bass in Ennui, which then turned into The Wants. Then earlier, she played bass in a band called Total Slacker. And we always shared a practice space in Williamsburg together because I was also in Sharkmuffin. Yeah, so it was like Sharkmuffin was my main thing. And then I had a bunch of other stuff. And we were just all playing in each other's bands. Like Lydia filled in on bass once because Sharkmuffin played at Warped Tour, actually at PNC in like 14 and Natalie, I couldn't make it. So yeah, Lydia filled in a couple times. But so I was always, we did a lot of DIY touring. So I mean, we were always trying to go to South by Southwest. So in 2018, I had like a tour planned down to South by with a band called Kino Camino. And then I had like 20 shows, trying to like this whole spreadsheet, trying to figure out how I was going to play in 6 bands at South by. And then we were going to, which I did make happen. And then on the way back, I had Ex-Girlfriends tour booked. But then the tour on the way down got canceled. We were using my van for the tour back. So I was like, okay, I need to get my van to Texas. So me and Lydia we share a practice space. She also lives down the street. We're getting coffee, hanging out a lot. And I'm like, do you want to just like help me drive to Texas? Because I got to go to Texas. And I think she had some shows also with her other band. The Wands? Yeah, I think she's done there with the Wands. So, yeah. So, but then she was like, can I play shows? And I was like, sure, let me like see what shows my other band had to drop out of, see if we could just take those shows. And then she was like, you want to start a band? And like, I didn't initially even think I was going to be in the band. Like, I was just like, okay, Leah, let's just like throw together. Like, she had some demos. I was like, all right, let's throw together what you're going to do. And then Vram wanted to go.
Yeah, because Big Drops were supposed to go, and then it ended up not working out.
It didn't work out as well. So then I was like, come on, you're going to be in the band?
Yeah, I got in there, the boyfriend card.
And then like Teens were ex-girlfriends, and Angela, the original drummer, was an ex-girlfriend. So I got Teen to play bass, Angela to play drums, got my boyfriend in the band, now husband. And and then Lydia just like handed me this vocal pedal and like a tambourine and a shaker. And she's like, all right.
It's your job.
It's your job now.
Yeah.
And I'm originally, a guitar player and like a singer. I'm like, sure, whatever. I was like, it was just like one of those things that like everything kind of fell together very synchronous.
Very quickly, but organically.
Yeah. And like we didn't even have a band name before. We had shows booked before we had a band name. And it was like one of those things.
Amazing.
We did 2 photo shoots before our first band.
Yeah, because we also had to promote this tour. So we're like, okay, well, it was like that fast.
Photos first and then songs.
And that sucks. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we're like, okay, we need, fashion band. But yeah, we're.
So were Big Drops and your bands playing together at some point?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I guess
all sorts of shows.
Yeah, we did a couple shows together.
Yeah.
Tarra came in and tour managed like a Big Drops tour up to Canada.
Okay.
Like a week long or like 10 days, something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was, and I feel like that window was maybe like 2 years of playing a bunch of shows, and then.
So I mean, you were always in each other's musical orbits.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like before you started playing with like Tea Eater and before we started our own duo thing, we had like a couple of years with Gustaf.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I feel like it was always sort of gonna, we've always collaborated.
Yeah.
Differently.
Yeah, that's cool. That makes sense.
It's nice to have Gustaf because like neither of us were like the band leader of it. So I feel like it's easier to be in a band with your partner when like neither of you have like too much of a control over it.
Control. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to like test the waters.
Yeah.
And make sure it's going to work. And it works. So.
Yeah. But what I do appreciate about Gustaf is there is a very communal aspect, especially on stage. And I remember I was talking to you, Vrami, like a couple of months ago. I think I was in Brooklyn. I was meeting up with some friends that were in town, but then it was like, oh, can we actually do it a little later or whatever? So I had to kill like an hour in Williamsburg. And I think I texted you, oh, what are you up to? Actually, I'm going to a songwriting session for Gustaf. I was like, that sounds so foreign to me because every band I played in, my earlier bands, yes, but the later projects I was in was always someone else's baby. You know what I mean? Hearing that was so refreshing and foreign. I was like, there's bands that actually write together. And I feel like that comes across on stage too. For certain songs, you'll switch instruments or whatever.
I feel like Lydia's really giving me the freedom to, do whatever I want.
There's like a family vibe on stage, which I don't think you see that a lot these days.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. And I mean, the first 4 of us out of the 5 of us were at the first show. We were there from the beginning. We just had,
of course,
the classic tale of 10 different drummers for the first year, and then
just more just my curse. Maybe everybody.
Yeah, it's a lot.
yeah.
And then we've had Mel playing drums for like 99% of the shows, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, it always has been, and especially that first record, Lydia had some demos, and then it was like, what do we do now? How do we arrange it? What are the different parts? And I do remember when Gustaf first started, we had our 2 photo shoots, and then we're like, all right, now we need to work on some music. And I remember Lydia coming over and me just playing guitar and her being like, maybe try something like this or try something like that. So there's definitely a lot of that, figuring it out together. And yeah, I appreciate that you can see that through the performances and stuff like that, because that's definitely a big part of the process of that, of that project, which, as you're saying, it's not the typical thing where usually there's like a singer who will be like, here's the demo, everyone your part, and you can embellish it how you want, but these are like the guidelines that you need to like stick within, because
these are the parameters you have to stay inside. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Gustaf definitely was a little more open-ended. The classic Lydia Gamble quote, "There's no mistakes, only new arrangements." So there was a lot of times when
that's perfect.
Yeah, like things were going awry, and it's like, well, this is just how this is right now, and this is how we're doing it. So,
and everybody loves watching something fall apart a little bit. You know, it's like, I feel like that's what keeps it interesting on stage, because you see bands that are like, oh, really rehearsed. You're like, snooze fest.
Really yeah, exactly.
Like, out to, maybe.
Like, are they going off rails?
Yeah. People learned. That's what I've learned with Gustaf.
No, but that's always been the more interesting bands. It's like just on the verge of total collapse, but there's that constant urgency.
And sometimes it does get.
Yeah, exactly.
It does get there. I mean, but that's part of the fun, right? That's part of the ride.
That's fine.
So was Tea Eater happening in tandem, or is that something you started a little later on?
I basically started during COVID because my old band Sharkmuffin was more me and the bass player, collaboration between us, and then COVID separated everybody, and I was just writing a lot. I just like coming out of COVID. I just had like a ton of material.
It's cool. It reminds me of a little bit of Babes in Toyland, a little L7.
Oh yeah, I love L7.
L7's amazing. Yeah. A little bit of 60s garage rock thrown in for good measure. It's a good soup of different elements.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just writing a lot. Like during COVID, we obviously couldn't tour, so we started our Twitch channels, and I feel like
which everyone should subscribe to.
Yeah, Tea Eater TV and MamajoeVramajoe.
Yes.
And then I had like a little Bandcamp fan club, so it was really wonderful. There's this band, Fantastic Plastics, who Sharkmuffin had the same manager with, and we played like one South by show together. So that's how I met them. They were already on Twitch. They're like kind of like very visual, Devo inspired, kind of like new wave, pop, funk, dance stuff. And they're also like a husband-wife duo. And then they got us really started on Twitch. Like they gave us a ton of advice, and then they rated us. So we, some of their audience came over to both our channels, and they're awesome. Check out the Fantastic Plastics. We had a little like Bandcamp fan club, which is kind of like a Patreon for Tea Eater, right now, or Sharkmuffin at the time. And I was just like writing a lot of demos and putting it on there. And if you signed up, I would like write a song based on an idea that the person who signed up gave me, plus a cover. So that's where like some of the early Tea Eater songs came from, like Fuck the DMV and Obsession and a few others. We couldn't play shows, but it was like kind of like a collaborative, weird digital thing happening. So I was like getting feedback in real time while awkwardly playing to my own tracks on the internet, which was great.
No, that's cool.
It was a new process, which is interesting. And then MamajoeVramajoe came from us, like throw a bunch of shit at the wall, purple shit at the wall, and see what sticks. We've had made 100 tracks.
It's like 100.
Yeah.
By the end of this year, we'll have like 140 released songs in the last like 5-6 years or so.
Yeah.
So that's been a fun, not being super precious with the process. And also a huge benefit is we don't have to record live drums, because that is such a pain in the butt to get live drums properly mic'd and recorded when you're just doing everything like digital with plugins and synthesizers.
Yeah, especially when you don't always have access to the space to do that.
It's just much more expensive and time consuming. And you need, like, I'm not an engineer, so like I would do a crappy job of miking the drums anyways. So I'm just like, I'll just grab samples from Splice or wherever and just, build it like that.
Yeah, it's fun. And during COVID, every day was the same. So our whole thing was that we celebrate every holiday. So our Twitch stream was based on holidays, and we celebrate Christmas on the 25th of every month, because, you need to celebrate once a month.
Yeah, why not?
And we're also starting a church called Church of Joe. Do you have your Purple Pope card yet?
I don't think I do.
Okay.
We're mailing you one.
Yeah,
okay, please.
You're an official Purple Pope card carrying member. Very sick.
Oh, thank you. That's amazing. And the nature of the music is just, I mean, a lot of it is very noise influenced. A lot of it is very electronic too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
So-
totally.
It totally makes sense that you could do it right in your apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And MamajoeVramajoe, it's basically like a practice in just like setting deadlines and finishing things.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because, you can just forever tinker until you have a deadline. And then it's just, okay, well, you're done tinkering because, like, you can forever work on a song. I've definitely been guilty of that. I think most people who record and like mix and produce their own music, almost everyone has expressed that issue where it's like, if I'm working on someone else's song, I know what it needs and I can get it done really fast. But if I'm working on my own stuff, I take forever and I'm indecisive. And
Yeah. And even after it's done, you start.
but what if I did this? And then you like show your friend and you're like, which version do you like better? And then they're just like, did you just show me the same version twice? Because
Exactly.
dude, but the cymbal is like 0.3 dBs lower in the second verse. It's a huge
Right.
difference.
I've learned to just not care after it's out as far as those little details are concerned.
Yeah, you
it's-
can't.
Yeah, you
That's right, crazy.
there's no way. So what's next for you guys? I know the holidays are coming up.
The end of 2025.
We just finished up a couple of big projects.
Yeah, the theater tarot deck.
Yes, that's out. Yeah.
Tara made a hand drew 78 cards
79.
for 79 cards for the bonus pool
I can
for.
read your cards.
Oh yeah, it's right here.
Do you want a little reading real fast?
Sure.
Okay. Here we go. Here's Vahak's card for today. The wheel. You know
Is
what's
that
crazy?
good or bad?
No, I mean it is both good and bad.
Okay.
Because it's the yes or no wheel, and this is very this makes sense with everything we've been talking about because the wheel is yesornowheel.com. That's how me and Lydia from Gustaf made a lot of our decisions at the beginning of the project. So we have Lydia at the top of the deck. She's the sphinx that sits between the yes or no because she has a Libra moon. Oh, no, she's a Libra rising. Excuse me. She's Libra rising, and Teen in our band is a Libra moon. But it's like they're like balanced and like always having to see all the options before making your decision. But then when you have a random wheel, you can just press it and then you have to respect the wheel though. So Teeter has a song called Respect the Wheel. The wheel is based on the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot deck, which is the 10. And we are going into a Wheel of Fortune year.
Whoa.
So we were in the Hermit year this year, and we were just talking about Led Zeppelin with that poster. That's the Hermit. And I think it's numerology. I think it's because like when you add all the dates together and divide it or something, it was like a 9 year. A 9 is the Hermit. Next year, we're going to the 10 year, which is the wheel, which is ruled by Jupiter, all about expansion. So this for you means that things are going to be expanding in your life, and it's just like kind of like it's a game of chance. It's like what's going to expand,
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Well, you're starting a podcast.
Yes, I am. Yes. So that's definitely that's definitely one thing.
That's
Yes.
expansion.
Yeah, that's definitely expansion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Also, when's your birthday?
Oh, July 15th.
July 15th. So MamajoeVramajoe, we made our own astrology system.
Oh.
So you can go this year and every month I've been doing purpology. It's called purpology. So we've been making alchemical covers based on each sign. Can you explain the
It's basically like a 30-second cover of a song because it was like, all right, we got to make songs to represent each sign in our purpological system. To be honest, I just didn't want to make a full cover. So I was like, let's just do like only distill these songs to their most necessary essence. So one of the signs is cow fart. So we did Purple Haze of Methane. So it's like Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix, but like only 30 seconds of it, and we did Who Let the Dogs Out, and it's like 20 seconds version of that. It was
Fantastic.
just so that's coming out on Christmas, and then we have
all of them because I've been sending out little horoscopes once a month, the purpology, and I just actually a little delayed, but I sent the last one out today for Blawback. But anyway, you July 15th, you're a Christmas potato.
Wow.
Do you want to hear about Christmas potato?
I feel like Christmas potato is a very important figure.
Very important.
It is a very important part of
In all
Mamajoe
of
Vramajoe.
this. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, your ruling element is little big pile of dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Your ruling planet is the stolen zombie Jesus egg.
Sounds right.
That tracks, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And your favorite song is Praise the Potato. But here's a little description on our website. If you go to MamajoeVramajoe.com, if you're listening, you can find your sign. Christmas potatoes are the silent heroes of the cosmos. They don't ask for much, and they don't get much, but that's exactly how they like it. Their element, little big pile of dirt, keeps them grounded in the most literal sense. They know that the best things grow slowly, out of sight, and often underground. With the stolen zombie Jesus egg as their ruling planet, they're masters of quiet resilience, always ready to offer a helping hand or just stay out of the way. So that's your sign. Between July 9th and August 5th.
Perfect.
If anybody's listening, you are a Christmas potato.
Finishing up this year.
I think that's a great place to end, actually.
That was Vram and Tarra Thiessen Kherlopian. Check them out and follow them at their socials. All their info is in the show notes and description areas. Also, if you're in the New York area, catch them play live at one of their next shows. Always a great time seeing them play. The Basements for Stars is a Caspian Seal production. Theme and outro music by yours truly. Incidental background music by Hits Lab. Follow the podcast at your preferred streaming service. I'll be back next week after the new year. Happy holidays and all the best for 2026.